Okay, some updates for today. First, I want to remind everybody that we still do the giveaways on Saturday. The time that I typically upload the digital code is around noon or 1, somewhere between 12 and 1 on, I guess that would be Eastern, say Chicago. What's Chicago's time zone? Is that Eastern? Well, whatever Chicago time zone is, that's when we'll be getting the upload around between 12 and 1. So for those who are on Twitter, or not even on just on Twitter, but on Facebook as well, they'll be uploaded on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you're on those and you would like to share those with somebody who doesn't have a copy of the movie yet, then do that. However you are able to share it. And we'll continue to do this. We have a lot of codes to give away, so we'll be doing this for a long time. And of course, we hashtag this Cyber Grill Saturday. So it doesn't really hashtag doesn't really matter, but we just give it a hashtag anyway. Now the other thing is that I want to share with you is that the we know that Alita was nominated for a Harvey Award for Best Comic Adaptation. Unfortunately, Alita did not win. Into the Spider-Verse did take that award, but props to those people who worked on that movie. Congratulations on their success. And once again, as we typically say, we are Alita's fans are the best reward that she can possibly hope for, I guess, because the we can't really expect these award ceremonies or award shows and these groups or what's the word I'm looking for? We can't really expect much from them. Okay, we're pretty much on our own, so we'll have to be Alita's reward, in Rosa Salazar's reward. Now, some really positive news today. It's kind of big, really big actually. But as I've said plenty of times, Cinemablend has before made mention of the positive Alita fan base. This is not their first time. They will say the vocal fan base, or yeah, they typically say the vocal fan base, and this has been about 2 times at least 2 times. But this is the first time that they actually name dropped Alita Army, and um, uh, IndieWire has done it before, but this is Cinema Blend's first time name dropping us. This is important because, as you will see here, I'll read it to you. They confirm what I've been saying, and that is that the fan interest is important for securing a sequel, because anyone who is looking at the property, looking at whether or not it's worth investing in a sequel, and they need to see a fan interest there. And as we also know, the movie had pretty high search results, or a high number of Google searches. So that shows that many people are interested in the Alita sequel. They're searching for news on that. They're showing interest, and that is also an important factor. But I'm just going to read this here. Since Alita Battle Angel hit theaters earlier this year, fans have been hoping for a sequel. The Robert Rodriguez directed, James Cameron produced sci-fi action film has a passionate and devoted fan base, all desperately hoping that we haven't seen the last of Rosa Salazar's Battle Angel on the big screen. Now, nearly 8 months since its release, Alita Battle Angel fans are still petitioning for a sequel. Over on Change.org, a petition championing an Alita Battle Angel Part 2 is still racking up signatures long after the film has exited theaters. As of now, the petition has over 64,000 signatures, on its way to a goal of 75,000. The petition, started by Philip Grube, was created when Alita was in its second weekend in theaters with the express goal of demonstrating to the powers that be, like James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, that there was enough fan interest and desire to make a sequel film. Petitions like these don't do much as far as affecting change in a direct way, but what they can do is symbolize public interest in a particular cause. This is a way for Alita fans to demonstrate that they want to see Alita 2, with the idea being that the people and corporate entities with the power to greenlight the sequel see this petition and get the message that another movie is a viable proposition. And that is what Alita Army has been doing on social media the whole time, especially by jumping into those Twitter threads, which has been demonstrably the way to get the most attention. And um, this is all very important. This is showing the powers that be that the sequel is worth taking a shot on. Now, continue reading here. The fact that this petition is still getting new signatures shows that the desire for an Alita sequel has not subsided. Even at the early stage of this petition's creation, a sequel wasn't a foregone conclusion. In the petition's description, the author noted that Alita Battle Angel was looking like it might break even, and ultimately the box office may be the biggest impediment to an Alita sequel. However, we do have the Blu-rays, right? The Blu-ray sales. They're not bad. They're pretty good. And we are doing our part by spreading the word, getting the word out, getting people to take a shot at buying those Blu-rays, and the numbers may not reflect it, but they are definitely not doing bad. So just know that, and and don't worry, don't sweat too much when you look at the numbers and they seem a bit low. Alita is not even um, performing the way a movie that only made $85 million should perform. Alita is doing much better than that, actually. So this is, for all we know, this is already past Jim Cameron's um, his expectations and his hopes. Okay, continuing on here. The film didn't hit home video until July, and the Alita Army is still hoping that strong Blu-ray sales can be incentivized by the studio to give Alita another go. So they um, gave us a name drop here, and this is why it's so important that we maintain our positivity, that we maintain our non-toxic approach to things, but not attacking other films, under the hashtag, right? When you put that hashtag out there, don't use it as a weapon. Don't use it as a means to put down other fandoms and other movies, because we're shooting ourselves in the foot by doing that. And this is something that I've said again and again and again. We've learned this from experience. We've learned this from being on Twitter and interacting with people outside of our bubble, interacting with people who are not Alita fans. And when we're trying to get them to give Alita a chance, they're saying, well, aren't you just doing this because you hate Captain Marvel or whatever, some reasons like that. Um, when we say, no, we love Alita for Alita, not because we, quote, hate Captain Marvel, unquote, and then we turn around and use the hashtag, put the hashtag out there and bash Captain Marvel or attack Captain Marvel or something like that, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. But I guess I shouldn't dwell on that too long. Let's continue reading here. Because of that merger and all that is still being sorted out on that front, Fox projects like Mouse Guard have already been canned. Rosa Salazar isn't surprised that Alita 2 hasn't been green-lighted yet. One of the hopes has been that if the Avatar sequels are a huge hit for Disney, the Mouse House will throw James Cameron a bone and allow Alita, which was a passion project for Cameron, to move forward. I don't believe that Disney owns or has that much power over this Alita sequel, since Jim Cameron owns the rights, and Disney only had the distribution rights for the first movie since they purchased Fox. But that doesn't extend toward the second movie, and we don't know if there's any first look clause or first look right the first refusal. I mean, we don't know if there's anything like that in place. So moving on here, whether that will happen is anyone's guess. James Cameron has a whole Alita trilogy mapped out, and we know that Rosa Salazar and director Robert Rodriguez would both love to return for a sequel. Yes, they have the sequel mapped out. They know where they're going to go with the sequel, and it's really just a matter of just finalizing the script for the next movie, which Robert Rodriguez is capable of doing in 4 weeks. And um, the way he shoots a movie, it'll be done. The movie will be done in like 6 months. Ready for uh, if that much. You know, the way he shoots it. Now, I'm not talking about the post production and all that. I'm just talking about the actual filming. He may be done in 3 months. The way he works. There are a lot of good reasons that Alita Battle Angel deserves a sequel, and this is one of those. I'll just go ahead and open that one up since I had just mentioned it earlier. This is one of the places before where they had mentioned the Alita fan base, the vocal fan base. Let's see here. I think in the first paragraph, yep, still, there's no denying that a vocal corner of the internet would like to see another adventure come to theaters in the near future. And further down, I almost know this like the back of my hand now. I've read it so many times. Um, Here under people want a sequel as one of the reasons. Yet if you poke around on the internet, where do you think they're poking around at? Right? And so this is what I keep telling people. Um, we're being watched. You may not believe that, but especially on Twitter, because that's where we know um, we got the hit piece put on us by the independent, right? Because people are watching us all the time, and this is why I insist again on not using that hashtag to attack Captain Marvel, because we're being watched. And if we conduct ourselves right in an honorable manner, being respectful to people, not being toxic, not trying to be an internet badass, right? Then we're going to gain some allies. Yeah, the media likes to stir stuff up and to throw fandoms under the bus, especially males, to throw us under the bus. But we can also gain allies as well. Not everybody will be on the attack. And Cinemablend has been one of those websites that has been on our side more often than not. And this is a big boost right here. What Cinemablend did by boosting the Little Army here is huge. You can bet that since it's such a big name, Jim Cameron, John Landau, Rosa Salazar are going to see this. And another way that we can make sure that they're going to see this is, since we have an Instagram account now, we are able to, we know Rosa Salazar for sure is only really on Instagram, and she said that she sees some of the things that we do on Instagram. Therefore, having an Instagram account, we can directly send things like this to them, right? Or post we can directly send. Yeah, I did tell you I was going to show you that Instagram account the other day, and I totally forgot to do it. We can directly send posts like these straight to Jim Cameron and Robert Rodriguez and so on. I'm going to scroll down here to the post that I posted earlier. This can go directly to them, and they can see this with their own eyes. Okay, now moving on here. There was a lot of good reasons that Alita Battle Angels deserves a sequel, so it would be a shame for a bubble film like this that did well, but perhaps not well enough, to not get a chance to grow its audience after people discover it on TV and home video. I imagine that with Alita now established on the big screen and a dedicated fan base, a sequel could find genuine worldwide success next time around, perhaps with a better release date. And this is another reason why I said that we still need to buy the Blu-rays, and we still need to push the Blu-rays even though people say, well, if the sequel is probably already going to happen, why do we still need to buy the Blu-rays? Because we're not just buying the Blu-rays to get the sequel. We're buying the Blu-rays and we're sharing the Blu-rays, passing them out, and giving away digital codes on the weekend to people who haven't seen the movie yet, right? The Cyber Girl Saturday thing, because those people will see the movie, fall in love with it, demand a sequel, and when that sequel comes out, they'll show up the next time, and we won't be struggling for the movie to break even again. The next time the movie may hit 200 million in domestic, right? May hit even 100 million in North America. Hopefully more than that, but that's better than they got now. Maybe next time around may get 200 million in North America. That would be huge, and so that's what we're working for. So it all comes down to us staying focused on our mission to get the word out about Alita, to do it positively, not being toxic to other fan bases and other fans, and to simply buy those Blu-rays, like Rosa said. I almost called her a leader, but she is, to us, to me at least, she is a leader. Let me just go down here now. Even if Disney isn't interested, maybe James Cameron could take Alita to elsewhere. Yes, and that's important too. They can, or he can. For now, Alita fans will just have to hope that no news is good news. And I think it is. I think Cameron is kind of keeping things quiet. He, I think he knows he's going to make a sequel, but we still need to keep to bring people in, right? To give people a taste of Alita and of a positive fan base, make them feel like this is a fan base that they want to be a part of. Not even a fan base, but Alita Army is a movement. All right, it's not Elite Army is not the entire fan base, so I don't want to be accused of gatekeeping the fan base, right? Elite Army is a movement within the fan base. Elite Army is a community within the fan base. Now, Alita Battle Angel is now on digital and Blu-ray and 4K Ultra. Okay, I don't have to read that, but that's pretty much it. This was very good for us, and we need to make sure we get more of these headlines and less of the other headlines. Okay, we need less headlines like this, right? We don't need these headlines because this is what people see and this is what they think of when they see Alita, and it becomes toxic and they decide they don't want any part of it, right? So we have the power to not let this be Alita Army's image. Let the other people do what they want to do. But as far as the Alita Army goes, we make a distinction that we're here for Alita. We're not here for the bull crap. We're only here for the girl, right? And hopefully we get more headlines like that, and the media hopefully begins to understand that Alita Army is not the one who is um, continuing this petty fan war, but a mere faction of fans who want to. They're going to do what they want to do, and they have the right to do what they want to do. They don't have to like Captain Marvel. They don't have to like anything. If they want to hate Captain Marvel, that's their business. That's totally up to them. That's fine. But that's not what Alita Army is supposed to be about. So that's all. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you later.